So a few days ago, Razer just released a new Viper V4 Pro. Okay, so that's cool, but they still haven't made their promises to create a wireless version of the Viper Mini, which is arguably the best gaming mouse that have ever released. The source for the true Viper Mini wireless is still going to this date. Many companies have attempted to replicate one of the best budget fares to ever exist, but no one comes even close. Until today. I was recently sent this masterpiece by RAWM. Of course, this is not going to impact the review, but just to let you guys know. In the box, you get the mouse, a manual, a cable, and a 1K dongle. That's it. No extra grip tapes or skates. I'm glad they don't include those extra stuff since I'm not a huge fan of using grip tapes, but if you have a sweaty palm, this is something you might want to look out for. We first have to talk about the shape. At first glance, you might think this is just another cheap clone of Viper V3 Pro. And you might be right if you are talking about the design and the overall aesthetic. I kid you not, this mouse is the literal rip-off of the Viper Mini, albeit the scroll wheel placement. You are going to barely notice any differences between both mice. In my opinion, this is a perfect blend between a Viper V3 Pro in terms of design and Viper Mini for the shape. As you expect, SA-SH01S is suitable for small to medium hand size and works best with aggressive claw gripping styles. This mouse might not be great for people with big hands like me, but I do still enjoy it in some ways regarding the size of the mouse. Quality is top notch, and I don't think anyone is going to complain about this either. What shocks me the most is the coating. It's not the grabbiest mouse that you will ever hold, but it does surprise me how well I can grip this mouse despite the price tag. This mouse weighs 61 grams, exactly like the Viper Mini. Combined with the shape, I'd say the weight is absolutely perfect. The only downside is the skates. They are not the highest quality skate, so I would recommend replacing them with better alternatives. Not to mention, the cable it came with is absurd. No braided, just a regular charging cable. You can still use this mouse in wired mode just fine, though it's not made for competitive gaming. And speaking of competitive gaming, the sensor is still the great 3395 with a little bit worse CPU on this model, but it doesn't really affect the gameplay at all, as you can see from these clips. In case you're wondering, here's how it sounds like. Very snappy clicks with less pre and post travel, which makes spam clicking a lot more easier than something like a KO 8.0 switch. The scroll wheel is kind of average, but it's not bad. The side buttons are great, though it's not as good as the Viper Mini size. The DBI button, oh wait, this is not the DBI button. It's there to show the battery status. The real DBI button is located under the mouse. I don't know why they designed it like that, but you can change how the button works in the software. Personally, I do think it's a good idea not to make it as a DBI switch because oftentimes I would misclick and ruin my game. But at the same time, they keep it on top to make it look identical to original Viper Mini, and I have no problem with that. Get out! Game so far gone, dude. Why do I feel like this is gonna be another try-hard name and then ended up like being a very sweaty for real, dude. Is he? No, he's cheating. He's cheating. He's cheating. He's cheating. No. No, 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 no. This is... Okay. Wait, what the f... It didn't... Okay, I switched too early. No. No, don't do that. GG. I think the conclusion is clear here. If you have a small hand and are desperate for a true Vibrant Mini wireless, this is the one for you right here. There's also a regular SA-01 and SA-01 Pro, which extra features like 8K polling rates and better sensor. But if you are a serious gamer and you don't have enough budget for that, definitely go for the SA-01S. It also have a longer battery life, if you will.